Well, good morning, everybody. It's another wonderful day here at Southwest Customs. Mm. Oh, the wife brought me some Death Wish coffee. Thank goodness. No, I'm not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. Excuse me, let me move the monitor over to this screen as I have quite a few of. I've seen a few requests on the like 2 or 3 followers that I have so far about some more information on the BKR 5000. Like, you guys are pretty interested in this thing. So far, this is like version 3-ish. I'm going to call it version 3. I got the pre-release. Don't know how I lucked out on that one. Luck of the draw, or maybe because I'm really nice to my rep or the engineers. I'm pretty nice to the engineers. They've gotten a lot of the kinks worked out in a very short amount of time from the pre-release. I think they're actually going to start shipping here. I was told in the next January. Should be shipping some more. I've actually gotten a few orders, tried them out, and they sell pretty good. I mean, a lot of you are going to be like, yeah, it's a reverse engineered, Apex or APX or whatever you want to call it. No, after having handled both, this is like we took the DMH or the brick that we all know and loved and just stuck it in this wonderful new housing with the brains from this old gentleman right here. And there are also some questions on software. It does use the res that we're all familiar with. I think they're on version 5.87 or 5.95 something. And I was actually able to take a file that I'd written way back when res first came out for this guy. Do nothing short of open up the file, plug in this guy, and hit right to radio. And it wrote to it, and I didn't even change it to BKR 5000. That's pretty impressive. Once again, overall build quality is, this is a granite top here on my desk. Okay, granite top with a crack in it. It's a brick house. It's really, really rugged. I like the display. I like the ergonomics of the controls. Oh yeah, Tularosa. I'm a reserve officer for the village of Tularosa, and just like I did when I was in the military, they give you something nice and warm. That's free because you didn't have to pay for it. I wear it. I mean, I still got my field jacket. I'm dating myself a little bit. So you want to see more of the BKR 5000? I don't know. You guys tell me. It's entirely up to you. I know we haven't done anything really with the LTD since that first video of me picking it up and then jamming a high pressure fuel pump where the fuel filter used to be. And I mean it ran. Oh, but I mean, for only driving it, maybe a cumulative running time of about 20 minutes. That was a hell of a lot of crankcase ventilation, should we say. And it was just coming out of there pretty bad. So when just Facebooked it, I guess I'm a car guy and I'm a radio nerd, as you can kind of tell from the background of my very well organized office. That even though with all this malarkey, as I like to call it, that's going on, you can just still be a radio guy, a car guy, further yourself through your passions and not buy into all this, political malarkey. So also volunteer EMT, they offered me the new vaccine. Then when I finally went to put my name on the list, I realized that the date of which I should have put my name on the list is since passed. But I guess the other Moderna or whatever's coming out. Cool, fine, whatever. I don't know how we got on this topic anyways. Probably because it's on everybody's mind. So the LTD. Get on Facebook and type in small block Ford engine. And got to meet this really cool sergeant in a police department somewhere. Protecting his identity there. A home build. it turned. That's all I checked to make sure that it turned. Really cool guy, threw in a whole bunch of Holly and Elbrock and MSD shit stuff with it. It's got Ford Racing internals, I think forged pistons and crank and all that fun stuff. Or hot cam. That should be fun. It's a 302 out of a 95 Mustang. So pretty solid block. I know you can safely run about 5 PSI boost. I don't think I'm going to go the boost route this time. My plan is we're just, I tested the trans pretty hard if you watched my previous video by accidentally putting it in reverse while driving. And with a manual valve body, it will go into reverse. It's not like these newer cars with their sensors and everything where I'm not saying you try this. Do not. I mean, none of this is professional advice. Do not do anything I say. This is merely me sharing my experiences. Newer cars, you can drive down the road at 80 and, my newer Ford pickup and put in reverse and just looks at you like, bruh, what do you, no, what? Between like, geez, it's got like, 2 sensors on the input, output. It actually can measure amount of power going in, amount of power going out. So actually as far back as, the late 90s, early 2000s with the 5R55 automatic, because that's a trouble code my mom's old Explorer has, which she will not get rid of. She bought it new in 2002, and she has a newer Mercedes now, but she will not get rid of that old Explorer. But she's like, hey, my overdrive light's flashing. And I went, nope. Pulled the code and said the amount of power going in does not match the amount of power going out. Not even close. It's like, so 5R55, hit or miss on which revision you have. Well, beauty of small business ownership. You'll allow me to take this. What's going on, guy? Walgreens is out. Fuck. If you head all the way down there, you might as well go to the Verizon store, right? Can you just pick a SIM up there, or are they going to like Verizon you to death? Crap. And what street are you on? Oh, you're on 10th. Think you can make it quick? Yeah, and just like get like 5 of the darn things. Thanks, guy. Bye. My good employees there. And honestly, guys, I don't even remember where transmission. So the trans works. The rear end is not locked up. Not sure on the brakes. I mean, it had the parking brake. You saw my facial expressions on that one. Oh, yeah. Ooh. And no, my neighbor never did complain about the 11s I laid in his gravel. Man, he maintains that place well. He owns the best. I'm not saying this because he's my neighbor, my friend, but I mean because I've had to have him do some work for me. Best body shop in definitely in the county. If not, I'd definitely say this part of New Mexico at the very least. Man, it's perfect in the attention to detail and everything. I mean, blending cars to match that are 12 years old and the New Mexico sun. Are you kidding me? What? So, right, car. Got a few odds and ends for it, stuff that I didn't need to have it run, but it was available on eBay, and finding parts of this thing has been a bitch. So like replacement headlight bezels and a brand new in the box grill. I put an 82 grill on it just because it's got that Broham Cadillac look to it, and just it screams 80s. The 86 grill, a little kind of like the speaker grill on your Radio Shack boombox of the applicable era. So the smart thing to do would be when we yank the motor. Wrong pipe. It'd be replace torque converter and probably have the trans service and all that stuff. Are we going to do that? We are absolutely not going to do that. The rear main seal is new, so that's already taken care of. And any applicable gaskets, duh, anything that's an overlap will do. We're going to be doing it on the ground. I do not have a lift here. I really don't. Um, so we're going to be doing it on the ground in a paint booth that was built in 1969. I mean, that's pretty damn cool. We're going to yank that old small block out. She's a little clapped. I guess I could use it as a core in the future. I don't know. It's probably just going to sit out and rot. I am going to save and have done a very good job because it's kind of my thing around here is electrical. You know, a little bit of mechanical, a little bit of fab, but 99% mechanical. So we're going to gank that old guy out, probably put some long tubes on it or something, and just call it a day. Hopefully one of these days save up for, I was going to go with Holley EFI, and then I read the reviews about how it'll just lose its mind, dump fuel, and I'm not cylinder washing that beautiful small block. I'm not going to do it. So I was looking at the Edelbrock Pro Former EFI because it's multi-port, which I quite like, and it can operate in either HO or non-HO firing orders. I believe this is an HO firing order motor. I mean, we're going to find out. Oh, I mean, look forward to this, guys. As soon as I get forward to this, it's going to be epic. I mean, the whole point in this, I mean, it may look like, I got a big thing going on here, but it's me and my two employees. So we're in this to get rich. We're in this to, put food on the table, gas in the cars, and to give the people that take care of us a vehicle they can rely on, that their life depends upon. Because, if you've ever had a vehicle fail on you at the most important area, it can almost kill you. That actually happened to me when I was in the middle of absolutely nowhere, had someone detained, and the radio and lights failed. I mean, just dead. There's no way a portable got out. I actually had to switch over to the volunteer fire department frequency and have them relay a message to dispatch as to where I was. And backup was an hour and a half away. And this is in an area a little bit Hills Have Eyes-ish. I mean, I haven't been back since. So anywho, new motor mounts, right? Sure, might as well. Anything that's, an overlapped common sense stuff. Decent radiator. It is pretty hot out here. And for love of God, electric cooling fans. I mean, fuck. You're gonna do all this work. I've seen people do. I don't know. I don't know why they're so afraid of converting over electric. Even those little cheap $9.99 relays at AutoZone, I've used those on quite a few fan builds. I don't use them on the public safety grade stuff. I go a little higher end with either Bosch or a Blue Sea. Again, not sponsored by any of these people. They won't even let me be a vendor for them, and I'm like a huge advocate for their products. Blue Sea said, "Oh, you'd have to sell 40, 60, 80 grand of our product a month," and I'm like, no. Yeah, I'll just keep buying it from. Okay, I gotta stay away from that one. The internet. So slapper in, get some electric cooling fans. I was honestly thinking about even going a little bit more ghetto than that. I'll contact a local representative here who has quite a few trashed Tahoes, considering who drives them. I think you know where I'm driving at. Something that's going to go to auction or just be parted out, or not go to auction, sorry, be parted out. That'd be entirely different for like an 09 Tahoe, because it's a nice big square shroud. And I mean, they got some CFMs behind them. And it was good enough for 5.3 that gets the Everland being out of it. Should be just fine for a small block Ford. Is my logic. Figuring out all the transcoolant wiring, because it is the police model, so it's got coolant line here and the one there, and then runs around to the front one, and then back down for the oil one. It's a good old adage. If we're gonna do it wrong, we're gonna at least do it wrong right. Instead of zip ties, it's gonna be hose clamps and applicable stuff. And we're gonna do it on the ground, because it can be done. You got jack stands, a decent floor lift, and cherry picker. It can definitely be done. And a few techniques. I'm going to show you a few techniques. You go out and get you a little Milwaukee set, and again, not paid to say that name. I don't own the rights to any of the names of which I just said, because the torque to dollars ratio on them is very pleasant. I mean, yes, we do have air in the shop and some air tools, but the electric stuff's getting so good we don't hardly ever. I can't remember last time I heard an air impact in here. When I got a Milwaukee cordless, it's got 1,400 pound-feet. I mean, any more than that, you're supposed to be, finessing it with the breaker bar. So, we're going to just zip zap the thing out. I have all the wiring from the EFI pulled and all the applicable harnesses disconnected and draped on the side of the car. Because I separated the fuel injection harness. Ford actually did a pretty good job. There's the fuel injection harness, there's like the ignition system harness, and then there's the body harness. So we're going to try to keep as much of the body stuff as possible, including I am actually really going to try to swap all the front accessories over to the new one, including air conditioning. It gets hot here, guys. It really does, We're going to try to swap AC and all the pulleys and power steering pump. And I mean, it's I think this build is perfect because, you got to be busy enough to make enough money to even think about having one of these projects. I mean, I wasn't, born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Okay, that's not, I was, and then my parents divorced when I was 13, and then just, they took separate paths in life after that. My dad decided he did not have to make a shit ton of money being the vice president of Western Digital anymore. And my mom just took care of us, and then there you are, separate story. That you can just go get a $300 car, so that's what we have into it, right? $300 into the car that with $100 worth of parts, we actually got to run and drive, and it had been sitting, years, a decade at a minimum, judging by just the sheer patina and I mean, running and then running properly are two entirely different things. So we took it to the next step. Spent, I believe, $2,000 on a pretty decently built small block. Obviously, it's not, just if I went out and tried to buy the equivalent reman from like Napa or Razone, one of those guys, it would have cost more. It would have been reliably built by name a place. You parts guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So I think we did pretty well. We're going to trust this guy's judgment, see how he tolerates the thing out, and if nothing else, thicker oil. Probably going to run 1540. That's diesel oil. In fact, even motorcraft. Maybe flush the trans real quick. Poor man's flush. And then just bomb around in it that way for a little while. I swapped out the seats in my 2019 F-150 with I'm gonna be a junkie. Found a smoking hot deal on 10-way complete front and rear set of leathers that matched it. I'm not gonna say how much it was, but I mean, you guys see the seats go for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 with the airbags intact and all the modules and bolts and everything, and I didn't even pay half that, less than half. So I'm thinking, what am I gonna do with these cloth seats? Because the seats in that Crown Vic are clapped. We're gonna make them fit. Why not? We're just gonna go around and see what we have lying around to make this thing fit. We even have a spotlight. Sure, it looks old enough. I mean, we have a lot of old fire trucks coming here that either get LED upgraded or get sent out to, well, sadly, become parts, or if they're in decent shape, donated to south of the border where they really need it, which I think is kind of cool. Let's see, we even got a light bar. I'm not going to do a roof bar on it. I thought about it, decided against it. The dream would be, I have the center caps and all the trim and everything. Just have it just at midnight, just black, all the chrome polished, and post mount spotlight on the driver's side, the red lens, and then the fender mount, cowl mount, whatever have you. We grabbed one of those off a old fire truck that they wanted swapped out with LED. And that's equipment trade-in. We gave them a discount on their invoice for that because we're like, hey, we really, I really want that. Can be a discount on your new stuff. You let me have that old thing. And they're like, you want, yeah, sure. Put that on the passenger side. Ooh, cool. I don't particularly like where the rear antenna holes were drilled. We found them out because whoever bonded over and just phoned it in. They're right, where the back roof comes down. Here's the glass, and just right there, back corners between the rear glass and trunk lid. A couple of whips up there might not actually look too bad. Old antennas are entirely hard to find. I don't know if you know much about antennas and them staying on law enforcement vehicles. They tend not to. They get beat pretty hard. The average lifespan on an antenna around here is either can be as short as a couple hours, or even as long as about 4 to 5 years if you maintain them. Which honestly, people, it's up there, it's fine. No, because even if the slightest bit of moisture gets in there, they're Dunsky. So we'll find something cool. I've already looked at older, Senators and stuff that they would have used back in the day. I don't know if we'll put an old radio in it, but and it took a long time to trace down. I believe it's a Welland 295 siren box. I mean, it just has the most. I heard it once in this 1989 E350 ambulance we used to have. Volunteer fire, it's not like we're all funded. It was way back in the day. And I was like, God, this thing just sounds like pure 80s, just delightfully 80s with a little bit of, squelchy feedback, when you first turn it on. So it goes, nice trail to it. And, oh yeah, that's definitely going in there. All black, guys, or should we do black and maybe like white door? I don't know. It's more Blues Brothers or 80s Highway Patrol. I mean, God, both are real swift. I don't know. Younger guys around shops, you throw that word around. I guess that means cool. Pretty bad, we used to say. I shaved, so I look a lot younger than I actually am. Mid-30s. So, let's see. No prisoner cage. We're absolutely not doing that. Found most of the door trim. Have no idea what happened to seatbelts. They were not in it when I bought it. Kind of weird. I don't know if we really have to go this route. I'm not a big fan of putting GM parts in a Ford, with the exception of any of their seats from 1999 to 2006. And all you guys, I don't care if you're a loyal Cummins guy or a Ford fanatic, we can all agree that from 1999 to 2006, GM, just those seats were delightful. No one else had an excuse for having uncomfortable seats, because it was until 2007, 8-ish that airbag seats and all that shit were required, and that's why they're primarily so stiff. Is where you used to have padded bolstering, you have airbags now. I don't know, a set of those, because they have the seatbelt built in. Maybe. I don't know the way because they got four bolt holes. That's back when they used to bolt in 4 places. Now they're all bolting in 2 places, and the front's held in with 2 hooks. Yeah, I'm gonna trust 2 hooks drilled into sheet metal to keep my ass in place. But passes crash testing. Can't be that bad. So yeah, either GM seats or the old ones out of my other Ford in there. I mean, the interior is not going to match for quite a while. There's no finding door panels. We're just going to have to. Bottoms are completely blown out, so I'm thinking saving the top of the handle and the leather, or the window crank. Slice her down, put a little, I don't know, either cut a thin piece of board and wrap it in vinyl, or just some sheet aluminum. Headliner, I'm completely lost on. I'm going to have to build its own board and put all that back up there, or same thing maybe with just a sheet aluminum, sheet something, and stick her up there. I mean, God, my measurement skills are, I eyeball things, but what worries me is the back is pretty square, side's real square. The front is actually really the only curved thing on the car, the front top of the roof. So, or no headliner looks a little tacky, not gonna lie. I don't know. Questions, thoughts? I don't see any comments, but I'll go ahead and shoot one out there. Hey guys, how are y'all doing? Why not? New Year's Eve tomorrow. Look at that. Thank you, Outlook. What would I do without you? Anything you want to see. The car, some radio programming, and no, I will not give you out frequencies. No. I don't know why people even bother to ask. If you want to get a frequency, go Google the stuff for the publicly released information because of Freedom of Information Act, blah, 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 blah. Absolutely. Have it all day long, punch that in your scanner, and just listen to radio traffic. I mean, hell, I'm a radio guy, and I don't even, it's like the last thing a mechanic wants to do when he gets home is, brake job, right? No. I give my guys bonuses to put all this stuff on my truck for two reasons. It's good training. And, I believe that if you're, learning a new skill, you should be paid for it, especially around here, place of business. And two, mechanics are hardcore. We play around with everything from satellite phones, if you guys are inquisitive about those. That's actually more of a personal endeavor. Got some night vision stuff on the way. Why not? Not trying to be all tinfoil hat. Do's and don'ts with repeaters. I'm entirely self-taught. Like, I'll be given something, they'll be like, figure this out. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll get back to you. Blow the finals out of it, or SWR. There's a lot of terms over there. Anything you guys really want to know about antennas, there's really one primary rule. Is everyone's like, oh, length isn't everything. Get your mind out of the gutter. The length of the antenna applies to the band of which you're transmitting on. For example, CB. That's a 10-meter wave. VHF, 2 meter. Okay. UHF, 70 centimeters. And then you get anything higher than that, 900 megahertz. I mean, you're getting tiny. And then cell phones, Wi-Fi, or if you're ham license or whatever you're transmitting on applies to the gigahertz range. Tiny. The antenna's king. Antenna's key to everything. I've been able to talk on, 20, 30 watts with a properly tuned antenna, meaning the length of this guy is precisely tuned to the frequency which I'm transmitting on. It's a good ground all around. Better than a lot of people can at 110 watts. And you apply the same philosophy to 110 watt radio. A lot of the units I do here, they're like, oh, there's no way you're going to hit that repeater. That's 2 mountain ridges over. And I'm like, radio maintenance to dispatch. It's called dispatch. Radio check on the repeater. I'm clear. Whatever you guys want to know. I don't know. I'm born happy to share my knowledge. You guys want to see the Crown Vic? You guys want to see a BKR? Got some older Motorola questions, maybe some Apex questions. I don't do a whole lot of Motorola here. They're not that popular. The newer stuff, at least. I do it for the feds. Or hell, anything. How to wire a second battery in your car. So you want to, auxiliary battery, and an inverter. Just any good do's or don'ts. And I promise, guys, as soon as things get a little fiscally better around here, wife lost her job, COVID, gotta love it. So that's kind of where all my extra money, which is hilarious, is going. So, hey, there he is. You want to be a part of my YouTube live stream? No. Wow, that's rude. Yeah, cool. Talking about how we got to yank the motor out of that LTD.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't this how you end up on one of them watch lists, is buying a bunch of SIM cards?
You can only buy 2 at a time, so I had to check out separately. That was weird.
You know why that is, right?
Why?
Because SIM cards are on watch lists. There you post 9/11.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Not really. This is in a entirely official capacity. So, oh yeah, we do modems too. Woo! Verizon, can you hear me now? Good. All right.
Can you hear me now?
I guess not.
Where's that guy? Oh, it's probably not YouTube Live.
He called me and said he was going to be late yesterday. I got to give him that. That's heads up. That's a day's notice.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday evening.
Oh.
He said he's going to be 30 minutes late. So you watch the clock. You're kind of the. I'll give you your title back here, after your 6-month probation's up, but you're kind of the unofficial foreman around here, so you already knew that. So I'd still like him to think I'm his boss, but
It doesn't mean you can still do anything. You need to understand.
yeah. No, I know. We'll get it there. Oh man, gotta love it. Oh yeah, I made Death Wish coffee. You got our little talk arounds. Oh yeah. There's nothing better than having old public safety equipment lying around. Load these up with some. I'm gonna stop talking right now. I love you. Can you hear me now? Good. As long as you nerf the wattage. As long as you nerf the wattage down, using these on like MERS or FRSs, it's okay. It's just like driving on a highway. Be respectful of everyone else around you. That's the whole motto. Besides, MERS and FRS are kind of the CB of the VHF, UHF world nowadays. If you guys want to learn more about that, do's and don'ts of GMRS and MERS and FRS, let me know. Those do require licenses. They really do. I don't know where you live. Kind of like the whole thing about how, putting a loud muffler on your car in some states, they absolutely do not care and not going to report you to the federal government. And then there's a few areas where they don't even have to report you to the federal government. They'll find you. Watch your power output, watch what you're talking on, and be respectful of the people on there. My best advice if you're going to embark on the endeavor of programming a public safety grade radio top rate on those frequencies. Beauty is these are Part 90. Oh God, Part 90? I want to say Part 90 radios. So that means you can use them on both 95 and 97. I believe 95 is GMRS, MERS, and all that stuff. 97's ham. I don't know, and I really should know that. I don't. If I'm ever doing some of that endeavor, there's no point committing it to memory as it changes a lot. But know that this is, top tier. You can kind of go down. Now you use a ham radio on, say you're for a fire department and you transmit away on that guy. Be careful. Be very careful because that's big. No. FRS and GMRS on a ham radio, sure. Ham on a GMRS, hell no. And a lot of it has to do with the testing of the radio. I mean, there's a guy on here on YouTube. Look him up because the good old Baofeng UV5R. He threw it on there and on his spectrum analyzer and everything, and found that it deviated so bad, which means I want to transmit here, and it's all right. It ain't playing the same ball game. It's at a muffler shop, down the road from the stadium. So that it actually technically, per FCC standards, was not even legal for ham use. You got to watch it. And for the love of God, guys, stop sticking these ginormous antennas on your. I mean, unless it's VHF and you got Fire Command's antenna, that makes sense because VHF is a big wave. Now, if I see a gigantic, there's some big fuckers out there, 22 inches and all that transmitting on the 440 or 70 centimeter or whatever you want to call it. Why? Shit, even seen. We can get an SWRs later. Really, that's what. Pick up one of these. Really, MFJs. This is not my Pro model. My Pro model's over there. Pro model will do UHF too. It'll let you know, like, you tune it to the frequency you want to transmit on. hook it up to your coax, to your antenna, and it'll tell you just how far off you are, and you can cut her down. Making antenna shorter raises the frequency. So just be aware of that. So 144 antenna might be here, 172 could be down here. That's getting a little down there. All right, here it's 9:30. Should probably be getting to work. There's a whole lot to do, and I'm the CFO, CEO, accountant, order taker, secretary, and head technician. It's stressful. It stuff explains, hairline going on there. Hey, we screw on tough bucks too. You want to know which one to buy, which one to stay away from, which one to start out with. Absolutely, tough bucks are phenomenal. There's 2 little tricks to making them, pretty badass computers. Well, guys, that's live. I don't know how this works. If you guys can replay it later or not, but probably start doing some of these in the morning. It's a good way to start out. And as always, stay safe. It's a little loony out there. To just don't get caught up in it. Think for yourself and be kind to others. Because at the end of the day, I don't care. Red, blue, politically, or what you got going on here, and it doesn't matter. We're all American. Come on. Let's act like it. Ooh, and that's my chief for this. See, everybody has a boss. You guys take care. What's going on,